are going to speak about with Jacinta, who is the head of tax education over at KRA. She's joining me here to have a discussion on various issues ranging from the Taxpayers Month, which we are currently in, and this is the 18th month, the Taxpayers Month. This is the 18th time we are celebrating that, and of course we are observing the Taxpayers Month. I don't know if you are of course aware of the Taxpayers Month, or you have been observing the Taxpayers Month, but I'd love to know that on all our social platforms, even as we head on with this conversation. Welcome to the show, Jacinta. Maybe a little introduction to our viewers and you know, to your department at KRA and exactly what you take care of.
Thank you, Richard. Good morning. My name is Jacinta Mulwa. I'm the Chief Manager in charge of tax education at Kenya Revenue Authority. In KRA, we are passionate about our taxpayers, and we would want tax literacy to grow. We have several of the departments handling tax education. We have a tax education wing in domestic taxes and in our customs and border control, but I am in the corporate tax education. So our business is making Kenyans understand taxation, tax laws, what is it they are supposed to do, their rights as taxpayers, and making the process easy. Because as we all know, we have what we call a pyramid of taxpayers. The base, which unfortunately we are still people who really don't know if they are supposed to pay tax. Look at this farmer who is having a banana plantation in Kisii, and he sells and gets a lot of money, but he doesn't know that he's supposed to pay tax. That one, we call them, they are not aware, and that is one of our biggest customers. The next is they are aware, but they don't know how to. I know I'm supposed to pay taxes, but I don't know, the process is too complicated. I don't understand what I need to do, and that one is also our second tier. Then there is the ones who know, but they don't feel like. So those ones, we also have strategies that we use to address them. And then we have, I know, I won't pay, catch me if you can. Those ones, we also have strategies to address them. So we are dealing with the whole pyramid of the taxpayers and driving literacy, Richard.
Right. I'm loving how you were describing that pyramid, of course, even especially at the top there. I know I need to pay, but catch me if you can, yeah? And of course, there are a couple of those, and we're trying to ensure that they are all compliant. At the base there, you did mention, of course, those who are not even aware that they're supposed to be paying taxes. And it's a thing that I've come to realize, even when, as you've mentioned, you see farmers or someone who's down there at the village. Whenever I visit my home, I find a couple of guys telling me, my mother doesn't have a KRA pin. She doesn't even have a smartphone. Why will she be paying taxes? She's not supposed to be paying taxes. She's just a farmer who has her own garden. And those are some, of course, as you've mentioned, people who need to be getting some of this tax literacy. But maybe to roll it back a bit to the KRA being a service. Maybe you can begin there. How is KRA going to move from an authority to a service, and what exactly does that mean for taxpayers?
Kenya Revenue Authority is transforming to Kenya Revenue Services, and it's not just a name. It is our spectrum of how KRA operates. It starts from carrying along our taxpayers. So there is a lot to do with customer satisfaction, customer excellence. We want to make the experience of filing and paying taxes a pleasurable one. Make it easy, make it simple, and we have a lot of activities that we are doing on that. Mm-hmm. We know the most important person in this whole spectrum is the KRA staff. We are also carrying them along. We are teaching them service excellence, how to treat customers right, how to be professional, and how to make the experience also very, very friendly. Mm-hmm. Processes is a big one. And if you didn't know, we are one of the organizations that has really gone digital. We have so many technological systems that are all geared to help the taxpayer experience become pleasurable.
Right. Right, that's KUTV streaming to us here, but you can go on, sorry.
Thank you, at least you are able to get. So this is a process, it's not just a change of name, and plans are underway. There is a lot of work that is going, and very soon you will see the information coming out to the public and the full transition happening. What we know is taxation is as old as we can go back to 3000 BC when first taxation began. Coming back home, taxation in Kenya began in 1900 when we had the villages organized, and they would take some of their cereals, some of animals to the head so that they can take care of people going to war or people who were deprived. Then moving on, we had the native hat tax. I know that is very familiar.
Yeah, the colonial tax.
Yes, yes. And it was if you have a hat and you need to pay. And that time we didn't have 30 years old men staying in their parents' hut. So you are sure by the time you are 16, 17, you have your own hat and you have to pay. Then they still had a catch for those people who don't have hats and they want to survive. There was a poll tax. That one you had to work and pay some tax. Part of what you are earning goes to the well-being of the society. What I'm trying to say is taxation is there for all civilized society, because when you come together, there are costs, and those costs have to be borne by the people.
Right.
Yes.
So taxation is important for the functioning of a society, as we've heard there. Of course, it's not just a needless obligation that you have to do. There are so many things that taxes do take care of for you to ensure that your life is also integrated properly into society. Now, that is why people should be paying taxes. And 18 months ago, or 18 cycles ago, KRA did introduce the Taxpayers Month. Maybe and an explanation into why there was a need to have a Taxpayers Month and exactly what happens during this month.
Taxpayers Month is a very special month for KRA, and this is the 18th Taxpayers Month that we've celebrated since 2003. It is a month that we come to celebrate the taxpayers who have diligently filed, paid their returns, and they are compliant. It is a very exciting month for us, considering the first week of October is also the International Customer Service Week. So it is a double celebration for us. It's our whole month of activities. Like for this month, on 3rd of October, we had the privilege of launching the Taxpayers Month, and that is when the KRA TV went live as part of additional channels for reaching our taxpayers with tax education and information, and giving them an avenue for interacting with us. By the way, the KRA TV, there is an area you can put in comments and they will be responded to, and it is really an interactive channel. So it is also a very important tax stakeholder engagement for us. And a week ago we had the Tax Summit. That was the 8th Tax Summit, and Tax Summit is an exciting, interesting event where brilliant minds come together to discuss taxation, policy issues, how to comply, how other nations have done it. And it has a wide spectrum of people, from students to international respected tax authorities. It is one of the things that we have learned as a country to look forward to. And it happened last week. All the recordings are there on a summit on the KRA website. So it is discussions happened on the place of data analytics on taxation. It happened on compliance, on border control, how to make the country safe for all of us. A lot of interesting discussions.
Right.
So those are some of the activities that happen. We also have where our leadership go to serve the customers. And we've had our Commissioner General serve our customers in the banking hall. In Duma centers, we have our commissioners go there, serve taxpayers, and feel how the staff handling taxpayers feel, and take all the feedback to improve this tax experience.
Quite a personal touch there.
Yes.
I love that. I'll be very compliant if the the head office was the one serving me, of course. If I walked into one of the halls and it was you, the head of tax education, serving me there, it would be very interesting to have that personal touch, and of course make also taxpayers feel that sense of service, as you mentioned there, taking your customers along with you. Any other activities, of course, that we might not have mentioned there on Taxpayers Month, even as we head on to the Taxpayers Day on Friday?
Of course, a lot of both internal and external. So to staff, we've had medical camps. We have legal clinic coming up. We've also had a lot of CSR activities. People in our northern region went to see home for the people able differently. Our southern region in Mombasa, we are cleaning a market last week. We have seen a lot of these activities happening. We have tree planting activities going on. So it is all range of activities, and it is a very, very busy month for us.
Right.
Yeah.
On Friday, there's the KRA Taxpayers Day, I understand, which will be the, of course, the culmination of the Taxpayers Month. What is expected on that particular day? Where is the venue? And understand that the president himself is going to be there. What will be his role during this day?
This is like a tradition where we come to recognize taxpayers. As I told you when I began, the biggest chunk of taxation comes from compliant taxpayers who do not need any enforcement. They file their returns, they pay, and they get compliant. So it is our duty, it's our civic duty to come up and celebrate them. Tell them, well done, you are doing great work for this nation, and also encourage the other people who have not gotten there to join them in the being compliant and being that big chunk of taxpayers who are just need a bit of facilitation, and they are good. They are paying, they are financing this country. So we are coming together to tell them, thank you. You have done your civic duty. You have filed diligently. You have paid. You are compliant. That one is an exciting day because we know even in the biblical times, so many people were given favors, but only one came back to say thank you.
Yes.
So KRA now is telling the taxpayers, thank you because you have done your duty, and we are really, really excited to serve you.
I understand there will be, of course, a lot of recognition happening on different categories, and maybe we cannot definitely say all that will be or all the awarding that will be happening, but is there a highlight of some of the recognitions that will happen during this day?
Yeah, I would want to stay away from that, but just know we have in terms of the highest, in terms of compliance, in terms of yield, in terms of most improved, we have awards for all categories, from individuals to the large taxpayers, from Nairobi to the region. So it's all inclusive. The theme of this Taxpayers Month is leaving no one behind. We have all-inclusive day. Everyone is onboarded. So let's look up Friday. The event will be streaming live on KRA TV. And of course, because it will be a national event, it will also be covered by other media houses.
Right. And also on the digital channels, other digital channels like Facebook and the YouTube channel by KRA. Speaking of leaving no one behind, compliance is also, of course, the main conversation that we are trying to drive towards the citizenry. And literacy, tax literacy, is what will ensure eventually that we are all hopefully 100% compliant from one corner of the nation to the other. How is, of course, you've mentioned there KRA TV, and there's the Taxpayers Month that is currently happening, and there are all those social platforms by KRA. What are the other ways in which the authority, or now we can call it the service, is doing in ensuring tax literacy, even from kids who are as young as in primary school?
Wow, that is a very, very big deal in KRA. And to start us off, we have embedded tax literacy right from the preschool. We've worked with the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, and we have a lot of tax content right from the preschool, where we are saying T for tax. And from that young age, we know that tax is part of us and the benefits of tax. We have tax in various subjects, in mathematics, in social studies, in English, embedded all through to primary school.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, in addition to the curriculum, we have tax clubs, and these tax clubs, we have them across the region. We have from Kaga, boys in Western to Cheni, every region that KRA has presence, which is across the 47, across the whole region.
Mm-hmm.
We have tax clubs.
Mm-hmm.
We engage these young minds to tax debates. We tell them about tax, importance of taxation, how it's calculated, and then they become, we get a school in a region, it becomes the center of excellence, and then we recruit more schools around.
Mm-hmm.
We participate in music awards, music festivals. We have been there in the high school front.
Mm-hmm.
In the universities, that is our next target. Most of them have gotten their PIN numbers. So we have tax societies, and they come together as our tax ambassadors in the universities.
Mm.
We have reached a number of universities. This year alone, we've already increased by 6 across the country.
Right.
And this include both private and public universities, and also tertiary institutions.
Mm-hmm.
We bring them together, tell them the importance of paying taxes, tell them how to file, how to do returns, how to pay, and everything else. Now we use this as our tax ambassadors, because we know university students are opinion shapers, and in their villages, people come to them for advice.
True.
In their families, they are the people who are asked to file returns.
Yeah.
So we are teaching them also in that front.
Mm.
Apart from that, we have a special passion for our informal sector and other people who have not been reached by the digital channel. I'm sure you've seen our bus, our tax education bus.
Yes.
It goes round even to the areas where we are not able to reach with digital channels, and they give full service and education about taxation.
Right.
It goes across the country, and we have schedules for everywhere, from the corners of Lamu to the upper Kenya. We have Western, Garissa, all over. We take the bus there, and it has a lot of successes. When you go there, we get a lot of people coming through. We also have other sessions that are physical. Every Thursday we have a session we call Tax Thursday, and from this week it will be airing on KRA TV Live. This has been happening in our digital space, and the videos are uploaded on the KRA TV. So if you miss it, you will still find it on Facebook, on Twitter Space. It's there, and so all the questions that we get, where we make them for a curriculum. So as we speak, we have a curriculum that we are targeting special needs people. We are targeting all the group of people that have been having tax education gaps.
Right.
So as I can talk about this endlessly because we have a lot to do on tax education, but it is a way that to make these people who are not aware come up and then start paying.
Tax literacy, those are great efforts. I love to commend, of course, KRA. It's now a point where I see the KRA bus, I get excited. It's not, I'm not hiding because I am very compliant as a business person or as an individual. I would like to keep you on a roll there because some of those things you've mentioned as means of tax literacy are also successes that KRA has realized, including the KRA TV, which is a wonderful one-stop shop for all information on tax education and material that you might need. Are there other successes that you can highlight for us that KRA has been able to realize in this effort towards compliance?
Yes, we have a lot of successes, and one of our successes is anchored on our digital channels, and we have a lot of systems that are aimed at making this experience friendly. We have our M-Service. M-Service is our mobile service app that you are able to file your returns, you are able to make your payments, you are able to do every service that you need to do for as a taxpayer. And it is, everyone now is on their phones. So we are bringing the service close to people. Long time ago, maybe 10 or so years ago, you had to do physical tax filing, and it was every June you would find long queues outside KRA. Nowadays, that is a story of the past because iTax, a system that runs our domestic taxes, you are able to file, and we are going more of the self-service. Even our banking halls nowadays are not as full as they used to be because we have a lot of touch points. We are engaging our customers where they are. If you call, if you are on Facebook, we can just get you served, so you don't have. We are also in the Huduma centers. So if you walk to any Huduma center, you'll get KRA services. So we are making it reachable, accessible, and easy and friendly.
Right.
Yeah.
That is great. Now, as you make it easy and friendly, there are those people you mentioned who have all this information. They have information on tax literacy, they know how to file returns, they know how to pay taxes, but they're not doing that. What would you say is the cause of this as you've observed in your period at KRA, and how can we now tell these ones, because we're not trying to give them literacy, they already have that. How do we push them towards being compliant?
KRA operates under a legal framework. We implement tax laws. So as much as we've gone to the ground and we have made sure tax education is there, we've simplified the processes. There are those few ones. And to be honest, they are the few, not the big chunk of the Kenyans. They say, I know, won't pay, catch me if you can. We catch them.
Right,
yes.
Because you can.
Because we can.
All right, some of those methods that people were, of course, talking about online was the digital means of getting people who are not compliant. Is that still ongoing? Having a look at their lifestyle online, they're doing flights, they're having vacations, holidays, but they're not paying taxes.
Yes, we have a whole system that is managing our data, and we have both our data and third-party data. That's why if you have rental apartments that you've been renting and you are not paying your monthly rental income tax, you will get a letter from KRA and tell you need to come, we talk about your rental apartments. Because we have ways of getting this data. We have advanced data analytics people sitting and just seeing, Richard, what is your worth? You say you are filing new returns, and we see you are in a designer suit, you are driving a Jeep.
Always.
I mean, there is somewhere, no bank will finance you without a source of income.
Right.
So come, let's talk.
Tell
us your worth. Give us our share. Then you can now deal with the other things.
Right.
It is the right thing to do. and it is what we have to do.
Yes.
Yes, there is a lot of data collection going on, and a lot of collaborations with financial institutions, with utility organizations, and government generally is big in sharing data, and both internally and externally. So it's just a matter of time. If you have an income and you are not paying, you better come. In fact, there is what is ongoing called waiver, voluntary waiver.
Yes.
If you just come now and you declare what you've not declared in the past, you will pay, and some of the interests and the penalties will be waived. It started last year in January. Last year it was 100% waiver of interest and penalties. This year up to December is 50% waiver on penalties and interest. Next year it will be 25. It is a 3-year program because we really want people to comply. And if you realize, yes, I've not been complying and I want to, but the penalties are too much, please come. Let's discuss. Payment plans are available, and we are being facilitative of our taxpayers so that they are able to pay.
Right.
Thank you.
Give unto Caesar what is unto Caesar. And there are two sides of this coin now, as I hear of this Caesar coin. There is the side where if you voluntarily disclose that you've not been paying your taxes, you get a waiver. There's the other side where citizens can also keep others in check with a reward. Could you maybe put that also into perspective for us as we wind up this conversation on taxation?
Yes, we are passionate about taxes, and we have iWhistle. iWhistle is a system, and you can report anonymously. If you have this neighbor, you have this business associate who is earning or has not disclosed their income, they are not paying taxes, you can disclose anonymously. And there is a reward for taxes that are recovered from your efforts. So once you disclose, then you will the staff involved will get in touch with you and take you through the process. And once the tax is recovered, there is a reward for you.
Right.
iWhistle is one of the best systems that I think the government institutions have, because there's always been there is ABCD I'm not able to say because I don't know who I'm reporting to, but that one you can report anonymously. It's a system, and it is a top page system that you will report, and real time it will get to the relevant person who will take care of that.
Right.
So it is our big effort to ensure that we do the right things.
All right. That is Jacinta, the head of tax education over at KRA, of course, giving us all the relevant information regarding Taxpayers Month, the Taxpayers Day that is coming up on Friday, which you can watch through the digital channels of KRA and other media houses, which will be also covering that event on KRA TV, which if you had the tune earlier on that was playing here as we're having a conversation, having a look at the various material and information that is available there on that digital platform. Go take a look at it. Video format for all your questions on taxation, compliance, and other issues on matters of tax in the country. Every single taxpayer, of course, is bearing an obligation to give onto the government what is due to the government according to your earnings, according to your business. And please, as you do that, ensure you're also telling your neighbor or telling anyone else who you feel does not have the relevant tax literacy to get onto it as soon as possible. Thank you very much, Jacinta, for making time. And where hopefully one of us here at KUTV is going to get an award for tax compliance this Friday. I'm hoping it's me or the station or the station as a whole. But yes, you can look forward to that on Friday, and we hope to have you another time.
Thank you very much, Richard, and thank you for having us here. Right. It's our pleasure to disseminate this tax information to Kenyans, because every single literacy score we get improves on our tax compliance. So please log into KUTV. There is a lot of information, and there is a comment section where all the information, all the questions you have will come straight to us, and we are committed to respond to you. Thank you very much.
Right.
For having me.
Have a good one. I'm seeing here, of course, mtoto wa Mariam on the Facebook stream anasema tutoe ushuru tujitegemee kabisa sana. Asante sana mtoto wa Mariam. Gikiri Ed saying looking sharp. Sir Richard, asante sana Gikiri Ed for tuning in. Na utuambie if you're being tax compliant and how this Taxpayers Month is going on for you. Awush Banadilod, it's a good morning. Tuned in from Kasarani, Nairobi. Asante sana for tuning in. Any question that you have on taxation, Banadilod, tutumie. Tutakuwa hapa tukipatia the experts or the relevant authorities over at KRA wa kujibu. If you have any thing you need to declare that you haven't declared, there's a waiver for you as well. If you need to anonymously report a business which has not been compliant to taxation, please do that, because it's important that they do pay taxes and ease the burden for all of us, because those taxes are being used to deliver services to every single mwananchi. Be assured